So school started again. So the kids went back to school about 2 weeks ago, and I'm happy. I'm relieved, a little bit sad, um, mainly because. Oh, well, let's start off. I'm happy because the kids are off at school for at least, I don't know, 5, 6 hours a day. So I get to do mostly whatever I want. If it weren't for that job that I have, yeah, I get my time back. I have the apartment to myself, and I can do whatever I need to do. It's usually work. I can work by myself, and there's no one here to bother me or ask me for food or fill up their cup for juice. I can do with my time whatever I want. So that's really nice. I mean, this past summer wasn't that terrible. I think, especially with my youngest one, he really turned a corner and is a lot more independent. I don't have to concentrate most of my time to entertaining him or spending time with him before. Even as recently as this past winter break, he would always need me to be in the same room with him or play or watch TV with him. And over the summer, it's been a lot easier. He's on his own. Granted, I just give him a phone and he just watches YouTube or plays Minecraft for the majority of the day. But for the most part, he's pretty self-sufficient. He's not as whiny and needy as he was before, which was always stressed me out because we have jobs to do, we have work that needs to get done, and especially with Zoom calls being more. I mean, it's still a thing, but it was even more of a thing last summer. I would always stress out whenever we had a work call. What's he gonna do? He wouldn't necessarily listen to us when we told him, we have a phone call, we have a video call, you can't bother us. But this past summer, I can happily say it was not stressful at all in terms of having the kids around during work hours. But now that they're back in school, I don't have to necessarily worry about that anymore. Um, Also a little bit sad, mainly because this past summer was really enjoyable with them being home for the most part. I mean, we had, some summer camps, we had a few vacations uh, littered in during the course of summer break, but for the most part, it was really really nice. We had a pretty good routine as far as our daily routine would go. We would, wake up and then, do breakfast or whatever, and then they would just, do whatever they wanted, um, whether it be watch TV or just play on their phones or whatever. They would just not bother me basically for the first, for the majority of the morning, and then, around 11 o'clock, I would tell them, hey, we're gonna go somewhere for lunch. We'd either meet up with my wife or we'd just go somewhere, pick up food, and run some errands if I needed to, and then just come back home. And then right after that, get some work done. In the afternoon, they would, do whatever for the rest of the afternoon. And then by the time my wife came home, I, wind down and get ready for dinner and stuff. But yeah, it's funny. I do kind of miss having them around, even though some days I would want my own time after dinner and all that stuff was done. I would never have like a moment to myself. So it is, um, even though I did want my own alone time at the end of the day, I do kind of miss them having around. Just you know, having them around to interact with or spend time with. I do kind of miss them, but yeah, we're 2 weeks back into school. Um, yeah, we're just really getting back into the groove of things. I That's really all I had. I don't have any other topics that I wanted to bring up other than if you don't already subscribe, I do a weekly newsletter called Dad Things, where I will usually post one long article that is parenting related, and then I'll post a few links that I find interesting. Some of them are funny, some of them are interesting. Do the same thing with videos, YouTube videos that I come across, and then a couple of tweets that I find funny. So if you're not already subscribed, I'll put a link in the show notes to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys next week.